Hey guys, welcome back to the video. In today's video, we're going to be discussing that Donald Trump is still ahead of the presidential race. It is June 25th, 2024. We are almost 4 months away from the presidential race, around 130-ish days away from November 5th, which is the big day, the day of the presidential election. And we see here that Donald Trump is still ahead of the race. He is still favored to win the presidential election. And before we get to continue on this video, please subscribe, like, and comment on this video. And please check out all my other videos. All views, subscriptions, and likes and comments are all greatly appreciated. Now let's get started. First, we're going to see that this post by Interactive Polls, they're pretty known for posting on Twitter a lot of polls, a lot of forecasts and updates. And we can see here that they ended up posting around 4 or 5 predictors for the election, and all of them, every single one of them, is predicting that Trump is favored. On The Economist, which I did cover in a previous video, Trump right now is favored. He has a 70% chance of winning, and they show him having around 302 electoral votes. On Jack Hersing's forecast, which we will check out in a bit, Trump is favored to win 287 electoral votes, 62% chance of winning. DDHQ, similar, 282 electoral votes with a 58% chance of winning. And in 538, probably the most left-leaning out of all these, 270 electoral votes with a 50% chance of winning. And in Polymarket, which we'll check out, 57.5% chance of winning for Donald Trump. And then here are all the links over here. Every single forecast model does currently predict that Trump's going to win. But I want to take a closer look at jhkforecasts.com. We can see here that Trump has a 63% chance of winning, which is actually up from yesterday's post that have him at 62. And I wanted to take a look at this one because it does include data from 538 Dave's redistricting, MIT Election Lab, Split Tickets, C Analysis, Cook Political Report, Inside Elections, and Sabato's Crystal Ball. So all the most famous and well-renowned known predictors and models are all put into this one model, and that's pretty cool. And they currently show that Trump has a 63 to 37% chance of winning. They do give him a higher chance at all of these swing states. For example, in Pennsylvania, 62% chance, he's currently favored. He has a he's projected to win 47% of the vote to Biden's 44. In Michigan, 45 to 44. In Wisconsin, 45 to 43. In some less competitive states, we can see some of the margins over here. In Texas, 49 to 39, Florida, 49 to 41. So all in all, Trump is favored to win the popular vote by around half a percentage point. He's supposed to win 44.3%. Biden is supposed to win 43.7%, and Kennedy is currently favored to get around 8.8%. And this will come around to a final prediction of 288 to 250 electoral votes. And this is the change over time. It's remained pretty steady up until when this model was created. This is a fairly new model, so it's going to be pretty nice to see how it changes. It has relatively stayed the same. The electoral votes all have stayed pretty similar going from the beginning. Trump has increased a little bit from the beginning. The popular vote also stayed pretty similar, gone a little more narrow, but still Trump does lead. We can see here the state correlations, which we had covered in some of the other videos, and I will link this forecast model in the description below, so you guys can definitely check it out for yourselves. And if you scroll down also, this is some of the getting to 270 models that they did project. They did run 10,000 of these models, so it is pretty cool. And then this is also very important here. This is what I want to cover in a little more detail. The battlegrounds over here. As we go down, these states can be less battleground. And we can see the 95% confidence interval margin and the chance that this will be the tipping point state. And I've always covered this, and I've always said that Pennsylvania is probably going to be that tipping point state. And right now, it has an 18.1% chance of being the tipping point state. Trump does hold a lead. He is projected right now to win it by 2.8 percentage points. And surprisingly, Florida's up here to be a tipping point state. Trump is up 7.7%. In Michigan, Trump's up 1.5. In Texas, Trump's up by 10.1, higher than his 2016 win. In Wisconsin, he's up by 2.9. In North Carolina, he's up by 5.9. In Georgia, he's up by 5.3. In Arizona, he's up by 4.8. We can see here in Minnesota and Virginia, Biden is only up 4.1 and 2.6. In Nevada, Trump's up by 2.6. In Ohio, Trump's up by 11.8. In New Hampshire, Biden is only up by 2.2. Colorado, 7.8. And you can just scroll down here and see how bad this looks for Biden. Iowa, 13.4. And, scrolling down here, we can see Oregon is only 11. And a lot of these states that should be safe Democrat, New York, are just a lot less safe for Joe Biden. We can see here Delaware is only plus 12, plus 13. And then these states over here are not even safe at all. But what we can do here is actually change this forecast from the standard. This is the simple, only including polls. So this only includes polls, and this is going to predict the margins. We can include the standard, which you were on, and then we can include the plus, which is polls, fundamentals, and experts. And including all those, we can see here that Trump still over here has a 61% chance of winning. He is still favored to win all of the swing states, get around 282 electoral votes on average. And growing down here, this is the projected margins. Once again, Trump is still favored. Michigan tightens up over here, we can see, but it is still pretty tight. Donald Trump, though, has that lead in all of these swing states. And we can see that Donald Trump is favored in all of them. These are predictors that are known to be pretty accurate and that are known in cases to actually overestimate Democrats, like taking into consideration 538. Back in 2020, I remember they gave Biden higher chances of winning North Carolina and Florida. They gave him an 80% chance to win. In 2016, they gave Hillary Clinton, I remember, like an 80+% chance to win, and she was pretty wrong. So if these models are, since they are known for overestimating Democrats, if these models are, adjusting themselves and trying to be more accurate, and this is what they're showing, then I think it is more likely that you're going to see that this result end up happening, where Trump does end up winning at least 208 electoral votes, flipping Georgia and Pennsylvania, Arizona and Nevada. And these states over here, are going to be a lot closer than what they were in 2020, states that Joe Biden won by more comfortable amounts. And it's not only that these forecasts and these models are predicting a Trump win, it's also that the people are predicting a Trump win. With 133 days left, we can see Donald Trump holds pretty much a 60% chance of winning. Joe Biden only down at 34% chance of winning. Right now, Trump is almost like 3 to 1 chance of winning all of these states in the South, in the Sun Belt, and in the Midwest, in the Rust Belt. Obviously, Iowa and Ohio are not even close. Minnesota, Trump still has 25%, 23% in Virginia, 23% in New Hampshire, and then in Maine, he still has a 19% chance. But the battle will primarily be fought in these three states, and right now they are dead even, 51-49, 51-49, 53-47, and these margins have been shifting towards Trump. I remember Wisconsin was 53-47, same thing with Pennsylvania, 52-48. They're slowly shifting to the right, and we can see here from the shift over time how Donald Trump has been gaining. He was only Biden April 25th was actually leading, and just since then, the month of May and the month of June has seen just an explosive growth for Donald Trump. We see here the popular vote. Biden only has a 56% chance of winning the popular vote. In the states over here, in the swing states, we already went over that. And then over here, some balance of power predictions. We can see here that Republican presidency is 60% chance likely. For the Senate, Republicans 73% chance, and the House, Democrats 54%. This is pretty much a 50-50. 43% chance of a Republican sweep, only 22% chance of a Democrat sweep. And as we discussed in a previous video, the Republican nominee, who will be Trump's nominee, right now, Doug Burgum has a 34% chance. I discussed, he has a pretty high chance of winning. Then we got Vance, Donalds, and Carlson. Rubio is pretty low, surprisingly, even though he is on Trump's short list. But this does shore up the poly market odds. And then now probably the biggest, most important reason, an important metric to predict an election is going to be the current president, the incumbent's job approval. And right now, Joe Biden's approval is hovering around 39 to 40. And we can see here, it is like slowly slipping over time. Biden did actually recover a little bit after 2022. When the midterms were going on, he did actually recover, and quite after the midterms, January, February of 2023, He actually hit 45 almost. But since that point, he has been sliding slowly and slowly, just sliding in that negative. And right now, he's only at around 40.4, disapproval 46. And the reason why this is important, because this is, similar to what a candidate may get on the presidency. How much popular vote they will get is pretty similar to how much their approval rating will be. And remember, this time, June 25th of that fourth year of every presidency, Joe Biden has a 40.4, Trump 42.5, Obama and Bush, who had 48 and 49, both won their re-elections. So seeing that Biden has a lower approval rating than what Trump did in 2020 shows that he has a less chance of winning his presidency than Joe Biden. So how can we say that Biden has a high chance of winning his presidency when he has a lower approval rating than a president who did end up losing his presidency? And quite a lot lower too, almost 2 percentage points. You can check on specific issues. Joe Biden is disapproved of on the economy, on foreign policy, has a 36% approval rating. On inflation, he has a 36% approval rating. On crime, 40. On immigration, probably one of his worst issues, 33% approval rating. On Israel, Hamas, 31% approval rating. And then we're going to get through Ukraine, 40%. And then probably a very important metric is going to be the direction of the country, which currently shows that the United States right now, 25% of people think that the country is going in the right direction. Meanwhile, 64.8% of people think it's going in the wrong direction, which is a spread of minus 40. And that has been consistently horrible and negative throughout Biden's presidency. You remember here during Trump's presidency, it was actually better. Through 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. It was horrible. It was pretty good. And then going into, the riots, COVID, it was pretty bad. And it ended up being on election day around here, 31% think of going in the right direction. And remember, Donald Trump lost the election. Donald Trump lost with a 31% in the right direction. Right now, it's at 25.2. And this shows, again, that comparing to another president who ended up losing, the metrics just show that Joe Biden is in an even worse position than him. Again, over here in these swing states, Trump plus 5.6 in Arizona, Trump plus 4 in Georgia, Trump plus 0.2 in Michigan, Trump plus 4 in Nevada, Trump plus 5.8 in North Carolina, Trump plus 2.8 in Pennsylvania. Wisconsin is currently a tie. And let's just remember here, Trump is most likely going to shore up North Carolina. If Trump wins Georgia and Pennsylvania, which he is up right now, almost all of them outside of the margin of error, winning just Georgia and Pennsylvania will give him 270 electoral votes. And that's why right now he is favored. Going back to the map here, we're going to fill out a pretty good consensus right now. Right now, Biden is currently favored, I think, to win all these states, and everyone could basically agree on it. And Donald Trump right now is currently favored to win all of these states right now over here. Right over here, and this is going to be pretty much our battleground map, I think, filling out more states here that are favored, and this right here will be our more close battleground map. And Donald Trump already has that 270 electoral vote win, and Biden is still at only 206. Sorry, I gave Trump Illinois. That will be going to Biden, but still, Trump is going to be at 251. Biden's going to be at 225. And right now, Trump holds leads in Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, all outside of that margin of error. So all Trump needs to do is flip Pennsylvania, which already leads by 2-3 percentage points. Biden could win all of these states, which he currently is losing in the polls, and he'll win. Biden would have to flip back the state of Pennsylvania to even get to 270, but right now, Pennsylvania is pretty firm in the Republicans' column. Even if Biden comes out and wins these two states of Nevada and Arizona, Trump still wins that election. And this is why Donald Trump right now is currently favored, even if Joe Biden would flip those states that Trump is leading by considerable amounts in the polls. And remember that the polls right now, even the ones that are Democrat favored, do show that Trump is leading. He still leads in the popular vote by 1 percentage point. Back in 2020 and 2016, Clinton led by 6.6. Biden led by 10. So this right here, and once again, pretty even for Donald Trump. He's still leading despite all the people, all the noise that's going on that's saying that Donald Trump is slipping. That's not what people think. That's not what the betting odds think. That's not what the market thinks. Right now, the market's showing once again here, they're saying that Joe Biden is gaining. Do people actually believe that he's gaining? No, they do not actually believe that he's gaining right now. Even all the markets point to a Trump win. And this is going to be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and like and comment down in the section below. I'll check you guys out in the next one.